What's going on, good people? Happy Saturday to everybody. What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this Saturday, man? Combine. We're 3 days into the combine. We got the quarterbacks. We saw the running backs, wide receivers. We saw the defensive side of the ball. We saw the tight ends. Tomorrow's all about the offensive line. How we feeling, man? How we feel? I'm gonna get into this Debo Samuels news to the Commanders. What are we doing, man? We're sitting on our hands right now, man. We are sitting on our hands right now, but there's a few things I want to talk about before we get into the combine and look at some of the results from some of the players, that we like. What's going on, Dealer? Dealer says Adam Peters making things happen. Traded Jahan Dotson for a third during the season and comes back with a trade for Debo. Yeah, Debo for a fifth round. They got to pay him all that money though. They did take the rest of the contract. They got to pay all that money. Let me do a quick roll call. I'm assuming I sound. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. I usually say that at the beginning, but we already jumped right into things. All right. Shout out to family in the building. What's going on, Shamari? Isaac, what's going on, Isaac? Isaac says Debo, damn. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope they get fat Debo. I hope they get fat Debo. Yeah, you know what I mean? What's going on, Alexander? Jeffrey, what's going on, Jeffrey? Herbalist, what's going on, everybody, man? Washington ain't playing. They found themselves a window and they're acting on it. They didn't think that they were going to get to the NFC Championship, and they did, and they're acting on it. They're acting accordingly. They're loading up. They want to give Jaden Daniels all the weapons he can need. I do think they need to address their offensive line, but who really cares? We're talking about the Commanders here. I don't care that much. I will say this though: Trey Smith getting the franchise tag from the Chiefs, he was probably a target for the Commanders too. He was probably one for the Commanders too. Shout out to you, Dealer. He says, "What's up, Dad? You're busy, but I'm listening. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you for tuning in." Deal also says he looked a little sluggish towards the end of the year last year. Niners talking about possibly trading Ayuk. That's crazy too, because on the bottom of my screen while I'm watching the combine, I saw who was it? Ian Rappaport. I think it was Ian Rappaport. And then I saw it at the bottom of the screen scrolling, said 49ers are willing to trade Debo Samuels and Brandon Ayuk. And then like 30 minutes later, we get the news that Debo was traded. So again, that's the combine. You get all these GMs, we get the player representatives together, teams together, and then deals get done. We heard the rumors, and again, I do want to talk about another rumor because a lot of people feel one way about it, a lot of people feel the other way about it. They talk, and that news is about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers showing interest in the New York Giants, and the New York Giants showing interest in Aaron Rodgers. Oh man. Listen, I will say this though. I'm happy that Matthew Stafford was able to get his contract situated with the Rams, because I think that would have been a mistake for the New York Giants. The cap, well, the money that it would cost to get him here, also the draft capital that it would have cost to get him here. I'm happy that the Rams helped us. The Rams actually helped Joe Shane, and that he didn't have to make the decision of paying Matthew Stafford and also giving up draft capital for him. So I'll leave that on the back burner. Matthew Stafford was a story for about a week, and now it's no more. Now we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I do see a lot of people weighing in. My man G537 says no. Clinton Jones says no. Isaac Moore says hell no. Yeah, man. Shout out to Sark. Is it Sarcone or Sarso? Let me know how to pronounce that correctly, respectfully. Rodgers don't want to have to move to another city. That's what I think so too. I think that as well. He already got the house. I'm assuming he has a house in New Jersey. It might be a rental. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. And it's not like it's his only house either. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to put a house on the market and do all this other stuff. It's just convenient, to stay in New Jersey. But here's the thing: I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Me personally, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Now, I will also say this. I understand why people want Aaron Rodgers. I understand, some people to say, well, you know what? We need a bridge. Joe Shane was talking about getting a veteran in here. He fits that bill. He does. But there's an absolute show when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Like the drama that people say, oh, Shedeur Sanders comes with baggage. And no. Aaron Rodgers comes with baggage. We don't know when he's going to show up to training camp because he does what he wants to do. I don't know if he's going to dig himself in another hole and then come out like it's Groundhog's Day, a couple weeks later. I can't worry about that, but I do understand why a lot of people want Aaron Rodgers. And again, some people say, oh, Aaron Rodgers is a steal. And I said this in another video. I said, somebody told me Aaron Rodgers was a steal, and they put up clips from 2014. 10-year-old clips. And that's your selling point for Aaron Rodgers. It ain't the same. Aaron Rodgers ain't the same, man. I saw Aaron Rodgers on the Jets. We're Giants fans. We peaked at the Jets a little bit throughout the season. We'll be lying if we say we didn't look at a couple of Jets games. Maybe somebody didn't. But I looked at the Jets every now and again, and I'm not sold on it, man. I'd rather have a much cheaper option because at the end of the day, the bigger plan is getting a quarterback here for the future. Not a 1-year rental, not a 2-year rental. Let's get these guys. Let's get our quarterback in the building, not somebody's retread, man. Let's go ahead and do that. King Blood says, Big Dash, brother, tell him in the chat. Tyler Shaw isn't no scrub. If y'all miss out on Shedeur, now he's coming up the ranks. He probably threw the ball the best today out of the guys that were participating. They said Jackson Dart had a good day. Okay, Jalen Milroe needs a lot of work. But yeah, Tyler Shaw did have a nice day throwing the ball today. He was probably the crispiest out there today. I will say that. Let me get caught up on this chat because you guys are firing in right now. My man Isaac said, I'll take him at 20 million tops. Listen, that's a deal. In all honesty, that's a deal. That is a deal. Herbalist says, did Dart throw? What's your thoughts on the QBs that did throw? Tyler Shaw, McCord, Milroe. Yeah, Dart threw. He did throw. He looked pretty good. He looked like Dart. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But he showed that there's no weakness in his arm. He does have a cannon. I believe it was Daniel Jeremiah that was saying that, he needs to be able to layer the ball a little bit better. But yeah, there's no lack of arm strength there. Tyler Shaw, again, to me, threw the ball the best today. McCord is a sneaky pick for me. A developmental guy as well when it comes to the NFL, but he has a lot of production at Syracuse. And then, like I said, Jalen Milroe, to me, I think he kind of shortchanged himself by not running the 40. His throwing was okay. He struggled a little bit on some accuracy, but again, this is why a lot of quarterbacks don't want to throw the ball at the combine because there's no real relationship with these wide receivers. There's no chemistry, and you can see it. Everybody has some overthrows, some underthrows, and it just is what it is. It comes with the territory of the combine. People like to just see the velocity, make sure you get into the ball into a certain area. And if you happen to hit the wide receiver perfectly, then that's extra kudos. But I don't think anybody is like flawless when it comes to the combine for sure. Nobody expects you to be flawless either. We did see that Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward got a lot of airtime, even though they didn't participate in the throwing drills. They did show Cam Ward was warming up with his wide receiver Xavier Restrepo, on the sideline prior to the workouts for the wide receivers. And like I said, Shedeur Sanders was making his way around, supporting his guys, DeJounte Wester, supporting guys like Jimmy Horn Jr. So, it was cool to see these guys out there. And then, again, these guys didn't throw, but everybody was just talking about Shedeur and Cam Ward for the most part. Let's see where we're at right here. How did Dart look? I talked about Dart. Okay, let's get in. What's going on, everybody? Thunder in the building. Luann in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in here. What's going on, Ms.? Tony Owens, what's going on? Yeah, you guys in here, man. you guys in here. Shout out to y'all. And listen, we're not going to be in here, for a long time. I do want to see this fight later on. I want to see Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. I do want to see that. I believe Letter to the Face should be airing tonight. I wish my man Wales was in the building to let me know for sure. But I definitely want to see this fight. I think Tank Davis is going to walk him down and knock him out. It just is what it is. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. But without further ado, unless somebody wants to talk about this Aaron Rodgers stuff a little bit more, I'm gonna share my screen, and we're going to look at some of the results, from the combine. So let me go ahead and get this thing going. All right, cool. Let's see how we look. Okay, all right, we're looking good. All right, so of course, for me, I got to talk about the trenches first. I got to talk about the trenches first. Let me check this real quick. I got to talk about the trenches first. I'm gonna go down to the DTs, and of course, Mason Graham wasn't able to participate. Had an issue with his heel, bruised heel, something like that. But I do want to talk about somebody really quickly, though. I do want to, because I talked about him before. You see him had the fastest 40 for all defensive linemen. That's Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. I thought he was going to be a sleeper. I thought he was going to be a guy that was going to be available on day 3, possibly in the 6th or 7th round. He ends up having a fantastic combine, and people are talking about him possibly going day 2 now. I'm like, I don't know if it's that good, but he did have a showing today. So let's look at Ty Robinson really quickly. See how we got this thing going. So you see his prospect grade here. They will eventually be an average starter. That's one thing I always look at the grade.
Hey, my treat today. I don't think they'll take that here. Of course they take Discover. You're stuck in the past.
I don't want no. I don't want to get flagged for nothing. So we'll jump out of that for right now. But now Ty Robinson, a 4'8", guy that weighs 288 pounds. I believe he was 6'2", 6'3", but a guy that you can line up next to Dex, a guy that I thought did a pretty good job. Going down the list, Darius Alexander out of Toledo, another sub 5 second 40 for him. CJ West is another sleeper, another sub 5 second 40. Derek Harmon as well, another guy. Now Derek Harmon was a guy I thought we would be able to get in the 3rd round. Lucky to get him in the 3rd round. Now they're talking about him going in the 1st. I've seen him mocked all the way at, what was it, 20? I think the latest mock I saw was 20. But again, there's going to be a run on defensive tackles. If we don't address defensive tackle in the 2nd or 3rd round, I don't know. It's going to be it's going to be slim pickings after that, because there's going to be a run. You figure another sweet spot would be, you figure after the 1st round, I believe that's going to be a quarterback. But after the 1st round, you got, was it 34? We got 34, 65. Was it 103, either 104, then 133? We got to knock it out of the park with those first couple of picks. And I believe we should be able to get at least one of these guys. One of these guys. Now, where's the rankings? I don't even have the rankings open. So let me see what the bench was for these guys. See what these guys did on the bench. So Jordan Phillips out of Maryland did 29. That's good for him. Alexander, 28. Ty Robinson, 28. Mason Graham did 24. I would like to see more than that from Mason Graham. 24 reps on the bench. Wow, 22 for Kenneth Grant. That surprises me too. 22, 24. Now, we've seen offensive linemen haven't gone yet, though. We've seen offensive linemen getting the high 30s. So these guys, like I said, Jordan Phillips, spot on. 29, guy has long arms. That's one thing. But Mason Graham, that surprised me that he only got 24. And then Kenneth Grant getting 22. That did surprise me. Let's see what. I don't really look at the verticals to see some explosion. Okay. Who is this guy from Georgia? I'm not too familiar with that guy from Georgia. I do know Zeke. Ty Robinson. Again, look at Ty Robinson just in the top, man. He had a fantastic combine. CJ West, again, another sneaky guy out of Indiana. I'm looking for my guy. TJ Sanders, 31. Jordan Phillips. Yeah, man. It is what it is. It is. Let me get to these comments for. You guys are flying in here, man. Let's see here. All right. Says Shamar Stewart tested good at the combine. Yes, he did. It was off the charts. Freaky athlete. They some people were comparing him to Myles Garrett. Not that kind of player when it comes to the film, but as far as like athleticism, Shamar Stewart, yeah, he had a hell of a combine. What's going on, Darnell? People doing some shout outs in the building. King Blood says Shador times Neighbors times Trey Harris. Yeah. Give me my quarterback, man. Whether it's Ward or Shador, give me my quarterback. You guys know I lean Shador anyway. Thunder says Ty Robinson would have went 4th round, but his performance lately will move him up. That's a fact. I thought he was a day 3 guy, but yeah, they're talking about him day 2 possibly. Round 3. I'm curious to see what happens. Because prior to the combine, I didn't see anything like that from him. But you run fast, you show some athleticism, and then you have some tape that's pretty good. You can move up for sure. I won't call him like a Braden Fisk. I know some people are, quick to, compare him to Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk ran like a 4.7 last year in a 40. Similar build, though. Similar build. I don't think they're the same player. I think Fisk is a little bit quicker, but I like the wrestling background from Robinson. So, and that, again, that's a guy that I would love to have paired up with Dexter Lawrence. We'll see what happens soon. Again, is right around the corner. He said, Isaac, let that hate go. Shador to the Jets. Oh, boy. Come on, Isaac. To the Jets. Come on, Isaac. Isaac, you like Ward better? I'm assuming that's what it is. Oh, he said I like Shador. He just messing with us. He just messing with us. I heard, was it Mike Vick said that, I think, when he was mic'd up at, like, what was that, that flag football game they had before the Super Bowl. I think Mike Vick was talking about him going to the Jets. I was like, nah, we can't let the crosstown team get him. No, sir. My man Sean Lee says, I want the New York Giants to double dip on the defensive tackle. I would too. And most of my mock drafts, I have double dipped at the defensive tackle. Absolutely. Absolutely. And depending on how the mock draft is going, I always knew that I can get Ty Robinson in the 7th round. I'm pretty sure after Trevor Sycamore, once he makes the updates to PFF, there are going to be a lot of changes, a lot of people moving up and down the ranks once they do their next update for sure. He said, and he's spelling his name all wrong. Let me give him a break, man. It's Shador. Shout out to my man Mace. He said, I just think the Giants take Hunter. It's still a possibility. What do you think about the measurements for Hunter? Hunter ended up being 6 foot, 188 pounds. They had him listed at like 6'1", 190, but he was 108. So the weight is pretty spot on, but he was a little bit shorter, though. He was a little bit shorter. Let's see what else we got going on here. Look at some of these cornerbacks. Now, the guy that stole the show in the combine for the cornerbacks was Mr. Maxwell Hairston, another guy that made himself a lot of money. Yes, he made himself a lot of money. He ended up running the 4.28. That was his official, I believe. When he got when it was live, he got the 4.29. But the guy can flat out play. Maxwell Hairston can flat out play ball. He did deal with some injuries. I love, because he's 6'1". I love that he gained some weight going into the combine, because his playing weight had to be like around 175. He looked a little thin, and he came into the combine around 180. I think it was like 183. I don't want to click on this too because they're showing commercials. So every time I click on something, if I click quickly and go back out, I can do it before the commercial starts or something. Yeah. Okay, so he's not. He's only 5'11", 183.
How do you make an Airbnb offer?
They're not gonna get me with the strike. They're not gonna get me, especially not the NFL. Sorry. Yeah, the kid out of Kentucky. That's a fact. But look at some of these times, man. I'm surprised Maxwell Harrison was only 5'11". They had him listed at 6'1". That's how these universities be lying, man. They be lying. They be lying. Yeah, too thin. That's water weight. He said that's water. Listen, you put a couple quarters in your pockets, stuff like that, some dimes, But nah, he does look small. But I'm happy that he was over 180 pounds, and he was still, even if that was water weight, he was able to run a 4.240. You know what I mean? So he's quick. Again, skills speak for themselves. I saw that who was it? Drew Phillips, who was his teammate last year. Drew Phillips, not last year, but the year previously. Was shouting him out. So I mean, again, he's a strong cornerback prospect, a guy that I thought would be there around the pick 65. But again, combine happens, and these guys go off, man. They go off. Jahdae Barron had a good combine as well. Ran a 4.340. Showed people that he was fast enough. Again, he's a guy that played inside and outside this year. Has the speed. I think a lot of analysts were comparing him to Branch from Alabama. Came out a couple years ago. But he is on the shorter side. This guy tested off the charts too. Guy from Rutgers, Robert Longerbeam. And listen, I didn't watch Rutgers much, not at all. But he tested off the charts too. Let's see who else. Trey Amos. Like, it's a lot of fast, a lot of tall cornerbacks here. Quincy Riley is a sleeper here out of Louisville. Very fluid hips. Can play good ball. Noah Williams ran slower than I thought he was. The guy out of California, I thought he was like a low 4.4 guy. He ended up running a 4.5, but he's a 200-pound cornerback. So Kobe Bryant had a fantastic day. Let's see who else is here. Melo Dotson. Yeah, there's a lot of guys, man. I can't wait for this draft to get here, man. What'd you say about Zai? Somebody said something about Zai Alexander. Zai Alexander, the cornerback for the Giants. That's a kid out of LSU. Taller kid, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think Zai is like 6'2", but again, we've seen it. College listing guys at a certain height, and they end up being shorter than that. Now that's quick. Yeah, that is quick. My man Tony the GM says, yeah, Shaw's flying up the draft board. That's a fact. He is. He can throw it, though. He can throw it. I think he's 25 years old, though. I think he's 25 years old again. I don't want to hold age against anybody. It's a quarterback position, too. Quarterbacks play up until they're 40 if they're good, if they're really good. It is what it is. Is he a nickelback? You talking about the kid from Texas? Talking about Barron? Barron played nickel. Barron can play some safety, but this year they played him on the outside as well, and he excelled. I believe they got him as far as the top 50 players. I think he's ranked in the top 10. So he definitely jumped up the boards between the end of the year and now, for sure. For sure. He has that versatility. Thunder says fast, but can he cover? You talking about Maxwell Harrison? He absolutely can cover. He is a solid, and he got good ball skills. Pause. Yeah, I like Maxwell a lot. Let me look at the edge. The DNs, yeah, the DNs are always freaky athletic. There's that Shamar Stewart with the 4.59 40. Ja Jern, Tyler Barron, Jordan Birch. Landon Jackson had a good combine as well. I kind of slept on Landon Jackson a little bit. He didn't have the best season this year. I think last year he played better than his previous this year. I'm sorry, this year he played not as well as the previous year. But he tested well at the combine. 6'6", 280 pounds, ran a 4.6 40. Looked smooth in the bag drills. Looked good in the figure 8 drills. Good bend. He earned himself some money too. He was already ranked pretty high. They got a lot of people had him going in the second round anyway. He just solidified a lot for a lot of people. Let's see, David Walker, 4.69. That's pretty good. He's a shorter guy. He's about 6'2", 280. Shorter guy, bigger edge, good in the run. Got some good pass rush ability too. 4.69 for him. Kyle Kennard ran slower than I thought he was going to run. Still a big body edge. Tyler Batty, he ran a 4.78. I wish he would have been a little bit faster. That's my sleeper right there, Tyler Batty. I like Tyler Batty a lot out of BYU. Some people say he's a dirty player. I don't know. James Hollis are talking about Debo. Debo to the Commanders, Giants. So, yes, that's a fact. It is what it is. Joe Shane sitting on his hands in Indianapolis, for sure. For sure. I mean, we'll find out soon enough, man, because we got a lot, like, it's not like the New York Giants aren't in the news. We just haven't made the move yet. Again, James, I talked about a little bit earlier before you got in here. The rumors with Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. A lot of people don't like it. Some people do like it. I'm arguing with people about it, on Twitter today. So if you follow me, you probably can see some of those arguments. But man, listen, Aaron Rodgers is old, man. That man is old. He said, Thunder says, not Maxwell, no Trey Amos. Not Trey. I like Trey Amos too. He had a pretty good combine. Didn't run as fast as I thought he was going to run. But I like Trey Amos. Hugh I got Ward and Sanders as 1A, 1B, but I'm leaning more towards Sanders. I like Sanders a little bit more, but it's 1A, 1B for me when it comes to those two guys. After that, I do like Dart. After that, I actually like Kyle McCord, but Tyler Shaw is opening a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes. Said Carter is good, didn't need surgery. Yeah. Talking about Abdul Carter. Yeah. He opted out of getting the surgery. He's gonna let it heal naturally. He is gonna perform at the pro day, work out at the pro day, so he's good to go. He's good to go. That's one thing about the combine. These kids get into the combine, they think they're healthy, then they go through the scans and they find some of the littlest things, small, insignificant fractures and stuff like that, or bone bruises. And they find that stuff, and these kids, a lot of these kids, just think it's a little bit of soreness that they're dealing with. No, they got little injuries that that they get held out of the workouts. That's kind of what happened with Mason Graham, and then Kenneth Grant. I believe it was a hamstring. Somebody got to look that up though. Somebody can look that up. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Get through some of these comments. Carter has some off the field issues. Does he? I didn't hear about any off the field issues, man. I didn't hear about any off the field issues. Landon Jackson or Jordan Birch. I like Jordan Birch a little bit over Landon Jackson, production wise. See here. LSU King Blood is an LSU fan. Okay. So I know you was happy that we got neighbors. See what's going on here. Sheesh. I was looking for a comment. I can't find it. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the wide receivers. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I want to go to the running backs. I do want to go to the running backs because the running backs had a pretty good showing today as well. Bashul Tootin from for Virginia Tech ran the fastest time for the running backs. He's another guy that's a sleeper, versatile, but he's a thumper. He is a thumper. A lot of people didn't expect him to run that fast, but that was a great run for him. Probably made himself, a lot of money. Where is Travion Henderson ran the 4.43. I thought he was going to be a little bit faster than that. He ended up not being, as fast as I thought, but the game film does not lie. The man is quick. Kind of like how Odell Beckham ran the 4.4, but if Odell got in front of you, nobody's catching him. You're not catching Odell from behind. I feel the same way like with Travion Henderson. Once he gets in front of you, I don't think you're catching him from behind. Donovan Edwards had a strong combine himself. He had a great 40 time. He's another guy that they're sleeping on too out of Michigan. He's splitting time with Khalil Mullings. Dealt with some injuries himself too. And then another guy that's a sleeper for me is Raheem Sanders. Raheem Sanders is definitely a sleeper for me. He ran a good 40 time, 4.46. Nickname is the Rocket. And he lost a little bit of weight too because they had him listed at like 6 foot, 230 pounds. He came in at 217. So he was getting ready for the combine. A lot of these guys shed weight for the combine. Damian Martinez is another guy I'm keeping my eye out on. Quinshon Judkins at Ohio State. This class is so deep. Taj Brooks is another one. We got to get a running back. I don't know if we necessarily running back is not the top priority, but the two deepest positions, defensive tackle and running back, in my opinion, in this draft. And I think the New York Giants should definitely get D tackles, at least two of those. I'm with the double dipping, and they definitely need to leave with a running back. Somebody to partner with Tyrone Tracy. We need a thumper. That's what I want. He said, "No, Max. Why you don't like Maxwell, Amir? Why you don't like Maxwell, man?" If who drops? Hugh says if he starts to drop, someone will trade up for him. Who you talking about, Hugh? I done went up and down this the comment section. I'm trying to get caught up now to what people are talking about. Shout out to Let's Be Giants. He says respectfully, 64 people in here and only 25 likes. Go ahead and hit that like button, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know we in the building. Damian Martinez is my sleeper. That's a fact. I like Damian Martinez. Can do it all. Run game, pass game. Caleb, somebody mentioned Caleb Johnson. What do you say here? Thunder says, I told you, Raheem, since last year, Caleb Johnson is like that. Yeah. Caleb Johnson looked the part. He looked the part. I think they had him listed at like 6'2", 225. He was 6'1", 225. He looked good. Amarian Hampton looked good. Ran fast, too. So there's some big bodies in here. I don't think we got a chance to get Amarian Hampton. I don't think we got a chance of getting Caleb Johnson. I don't think we pick a running back that high to get one of those guys. He says, bring up Turbo. Turbo Miller, you still got hope in Turbo Miller? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Shout out to Sydney. Sydney says, sup, Dash. I agree. We need someone who can be the big running back. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I like Raheem Sanders late. Rocket Sanders late. I do like that. American Cheese says Carter has an assault case. I didn't know anything about that. I got to look that up. Hugh says, do we keep Singletary? I think so. Right now, I don't know the specifics on this contract. I'll have to see how much dead money it would be if we cut him or let him go. But I think we keep Singletary. I think we gave him a 3-year deal. I do think we keep Singletary. Hold on just a moment. I got to check one thing out here. Let's see what's going on here. Bear with me just a moment. I didn't see that, King Blood. Somebody said that earlier, huh? Y'all don't say. King Blood says y'all don't know football if y'all think taking Shador is a bad pick, even Shaw. A lot of people feel that way, man. I argue with people all the time. All the time. Shout out to Pablo Velez. Said, what's good, Big Dash? Blessings back to you, brother. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Sean Jackson, well, Big Dash, I don't want any parts of Aaron Rodgers soap opera for the Giants. A lot of people do agree with you. Colin says Rodgers comes with baggage, but so does Winston and Wilson. And out of the three, he's still the best quarterback. I do not argue against that. He is the best option. I still believe that. As far as quarterback and playing on the field. Said we agree, none are in their prime, but best case to play while we develop our drafted quarterback, either Ward or Sanders. I agree with that. Just trying to get through some of this stuff. I know I missed a lot of comments. Want to get back, show some love, man. Pablo also said we need a veteran bridge quarterback, but who is actually going to help develop the quarterback we draft if we do land one? I don't think it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is mentoring anybody. I don't think he barely mentored Jordan Love in Green Bay, and we saw what happened with Zach Wilson. Shout out to Luann. Luann, I'm sorry to hear that. Says I need to listen about football to keep my mind busy. My mom passed Thursday morning. My condolences, Luann. We live together. I'm so sorry for your loss, Luann. Again, losing a parent is devastating. I lost my pops not too long ago. So I feel your pain. Blessings to you and my condolences for sure. Everybody send their condolences to Luann. All right. King Blood in here arguing with folks. Dart is not better than Shador. LOL. Come on, man. Listen, I can't argue with people anymore about it. Listen, here's my thing when it comes to Shador versus Dart. Stop putting these quarterbacks against each other, man. I like Jackson Dart, but I feel like every time I mention Shador Sanders, somebody wants to throw Dart in my face. Pause. To me, it's not close. It's not close. But hey, he has the numbers. A lot of people have PFF. A lot of people look at the numbers. Some people look at the numbers more than they look at the game. Some people don't take into consideration the type of offenses being played. We know that Shador plays a pro style offense, and Mississippi does not. They do not. And still, it's Mississippi. It's SEC. Better offensive line and all that. So it is what it is, though. It is what it is. I always tell people, man, if you really want to get a good idea, and if you're being honest with yourself, just do this. If you think Jackson Dart is better than Shedeur Sanders, just imagine Jackson Dart on Colorado and Shedeur Sanders on Mississippi, and who you think will have the better numbers. Just switch the scenarios and look at it that way. Again, that's the land of make-believe, but that's just something I like to do. My man Bourbon Cigars Conversations. He says, "What up, people? We need a big bruising back." Pause. That's a fact. That's a fact. Pause on that. Pause on that. Dash, how did Jabbar Muhammad look? The 40? Actually, I don't even think he ran the 40. I don't think Jabbar ran the 40, but he looked smooth in the drills. Let me just check really quickly. Did he run the 40? I don't believe he ran the 40. I'm just looking right now. Did he run the 40? I don't think he ran the 40, but he did look good in the drills. He's fluid, though, man. I've always liked Jabbar Muhammad, man. He's another guy that's going to be available on day 3. And I like his attitude, too. He's one of those cornerbacks that's feisty, not afraid to tackle, likes to trash talk, can play both schemes. I like Jabbar Muhammad. He can play inside and out. I like that versatility. We already know it. Our guys get hurt right and left. Jabbar Muhammad, for me, if he's there in the 7th round, I'm taking him. I'm taking him for sure. For sure. Bookend. We already know what it is, Bookend. I'm going to back whoever they pick at quarterback. At the end of the day, yes, Bookend. When it's all said and done, you're riding with the team. I understand, especially when it comes to these rookie quarterbacks. Even when we got Daniel Jones, a lot of people were mad that we picked Daniel Jones for those first couple of seasons. What do? We rolled with him. We rolled with him until we couldn't ride with him anymore. But you're absolutely right. If it's Shedeur Sanders, if it's Cam Ward, if it's Jackson Dart in the 2nd round, if it's whoever, we're going to ride. With the option. I'm just saying before the draft actually happens, I want Shedeur Sanders. I want Cam Ward. That's what I want. The draft is not happening. To me, my mindset is Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are the New York Giants quarterback until they're not the quarterback. That's how I feel about it. Thunder. Noah Williams didn't run the fastest 40. He ran a 4.5 40, but did look good on the field drills. He looked smooth. Transition, getting out of his breaks, he looked good. But he ran a 4.5. And again, we're talking about a guy that's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a bigger cornerback. I wish he would have ran a little bit faster. What question, King Blood? Until you answer that. Mac Jones or Zach Wilson. L. Brown says Mac Jones or Zach Wilson. Oh boy, I don't want neither one of them guys. I don't want either one of them. Sanders, Ward, coin flip. That's how I feel, man. I got my preference, but that's how I feel. Now, this is the most diabolical comment. For one thing we know about Shedeur Sanders is that he's going to take a hit to a fault sometimes. So, man, all respect to you, Delton, but brother, that is absolutely false, respectfully. Andre, what's going on? Andre says, "What up, Dash? Which QB would you like to see if Ward or Sanders are gone? If Ward and Sanders are gone, just draft me some defensive tackles. Hopefully, the veteran quarterback we picked up is what it is. Maybe Jackson Dart at that point, but in the 2nd round, I'm really eyeballing defensive tackles and maybe the best cornerback that's left. And if you don't get Jackson Dart in the 2nd round, you're probably not going to get him. So I think if we miss out on Shedeur or Cam Ward, we're probably looking at, a developmental guy, end of day 2, possibly day 3. That's my honest opinion. Says y'all are delusional about saying, nah, man, listen, man, that one comment about him not wanting to take a hit, that's absolutely false. He's taken the most hits, and will stand and deliver. That's one thing that he's known for. Like that's crazy. That's one of his biggest strengths. Yeah. To a fault. Appreciate you, brother. Listen, I appreciate you. I just don't agree with the statement. Now he does have some things to work out. Like for me, I think he holds on to the ball a little too long. But even at one of the pressers during the combine, that's one of the things they asked him about. They said, what is one of the things you would like to clean up? He said playing hero ball. He played hero ball too much, and that led to a lot of unnecessary sacks. And he identified that and said that's something that he's going to work on. So again, it is what it is. Keep it respectful, King. He did call him out of his name though. Oh man. He said he had no line. Real ones know that. No, that's a fact. Even and it's funny too because was it Phil Simms' son on Pro Football Talk? He tried to bait him into saying something bad about his offensive line. He said, oh, your offensive line wasn't the best, and he showed some love to his offensive line. Now we already know there were some comments made about the offensive line. I believe that was in 2023. But he's cleaned that up as well. He said that's why he's perfect for us. Why? Because our offensive line is not all that good either. I think so too, man. Now again, Shedeur Sanders, he's not perfect. Cam Ward's not perfect. A lot of these guys aren't perfect. If you sit around waiting for the perfect quarterback, you might be waiting for a long time. That's like, I'll say this quick analogy, right? Waiting for the perfect quarterback, like as a New York Giants fan, the New York Giants organization, sitting around waiting for the perfect quarterback. Yes, Chris Simms, thank you. Sitting around waiting for the perfect quarterback to save you. It's almost like you're sitting in the middle of the ocean and you're drowning, and there's rafts going past you, and you're trying to pick the perfect raft to save your life. Nah, that raft's not good enough for me. That's what it's like to me. No, you get on the raft and save yourself. And then once you get to land, maybe you can be a little bit more picky. But that's what we're doing here. We sitting here waiting for the perfect quarterback. And guess what? The perfect quarterback is not out there. Who's the perfect quarterback? You can't tell me Arch Manning is the perfect quarterback. And a lot of people love Arch Manning. Meanwhile, I haven't seen Arch Manning start a whole season. And I think Arch Manning is going to be very good. But let's, let the kid play first. Hughes says fans are so toxic towards the players. And when a player says something, they clutch their pearls. That's hilarious. And here's another thing for me. When it comes to us as New York Giants fans, who are we to turn up our nose at certain people? Now, for me, I'm doing it to Aaron Rodgers because I believe Aaron Rodgers is actually like done. I think he's on his way out, 1 foot out the door. He's been half retired for a couple of years now. When he was at Green Bay, he was kind of like thinking he was going to retire. Then he went to the Jets. Things didn't work out. And now some people say, even in his comments section below, they said that, he might have a chip on his shoulder. I don't know what that means when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. What does that mean with a chip? If he didn't have a chip on his shoulder last year after coming back off the Achilles, I don't know what you expect him to do with the Giants. I don't know. You guys going back and forth in the comment section. B Coop, what's going on, B Coop? He says, how do you feel about Jimmy Horn and Webster, or Wester, I believe? You probably got the autocorrect on you. Wester, I thought they would have been a little faster, but game speed is different. You must have been watching the telecast because a lot of people say that as well. Jimmy Horn ran a 4.47. Wester ran a 4.47. Those guys on the field look faster than that. I will say that. It's kind of like how a lot of people expected Jalen Hyatt to run a 4.240 and he ran a 4.41. Game speed is different. I think those guys both have that ability. I was actually kind of mad that Will Shepherd didn't get an invite to the to the combine. I would love to see him run. But no, I like Jimmy Horn. I like LeJohntay Wester. Wester's nice. Jimmy Horn is nice. He had to deal with the injury. So he wasn't able to get a lot of. Well, how many games did he miss? Did he miss like 6 games? 5-6 games, I think he missed. I think Jimmy Horn is going to be a better pro than college player, role guy. Possibly at best, he's probably going to be a solid wide receiver 3, in my opinion. I'll say the same thing about Wester. But these guys can absolutely be better than that. They can, and I hope I'm wrong in my assessment of those guys. I miss them. I wish them nothing but the best. Bookend, what you talking about? And you can wait 2 years. You talking about waiting 2 years for Arch? Yeah, Arch ain't coming out to 2027. He ain't coming out to 2027. That's one thing about those Mannings, and people like to say he ain't coming out to 2027. One thing, the Mannings graduate. And listen, he might graduate early, but he's not coming out with just 1 year of starting college football under his belt. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not how the Mannings do it. It's not like he's hurting for money. You got the NIL deals now, so the kid's really not hurting for money. So he got his own bread. He got family money. Arch Manning is getting 2 years as a full-time starter with the Texans. That's definitely going to happen. So if you're waiting for Arch Manning, you're waiting to 2027. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. King Blood says, who you liking for wide receiver next to Neighbors? Listen, and for me, I differ a lot. I don't necessarily need a wide receiver in this draft. When I look at this roster, I see potential there. I think the lack of quality quarterback play is hindering the wide receiver production. Now, I do think that Slayton is gone. I don't think we bring Slayton back for that price that he's going to get. He's probably going to get $13 to $15 million somewhere. And I don't think the New York Giants are going to pay him that much. They might, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think you stick with Neighbors, of course. That's your wide receiver one. You have to figure out. Now, I do think they bring a wide receiver in free agency. Not sure who that person is going to be. A lot of people say it can be Diggs. They might trade for somebody that's on an expiring contract. I don't know for sure. I really think with quality quarterback play, we can really assess the wide receiver room, the guys that we have. And right now it's looking like Neighbors, it's looking like Wan'Dale Robinson, and it's looking like Jalen Hyatt. The funny thing about it is if we were able to actually know what Jalen Hyatt is, we probably wouldn't be fiending for that wide receiver as much as we are right now. But there's a lot of wide receivers in this draft that I would like. Again, we're no longer looking for a wide receiver one. So, it opens up the options. Pause. My man James, shout out to James. He says, I like Ward and McCord, A-Rod 2810. How about put up good numbers? Let me stop sharing my screen because I don't think we're going to get back to these prospects. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second to talk to y'all. Let me talk to y'all for a minute, man. Because you guys are going back and forth, and I love the participation. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we got people talking about wrestling in here. You talk about Jay Cargill. Thunder, you all over the place, man. You all over there. You talking about wrestling. My man Atlantic Lion says we are in QB hell, and people talking about wait for Arch. I'm telling you, man. We out here drowning. We out here drowning and turning our nose up at rafts. That's a fact. That's a fact. My man Andre says, I agree, Dash. I would like to see Dart 2 in my mock 3, pick Travis. Okay, at 3, pick Travis. 2, pick Darius Alexander. I like Darius Alexander. We need D-line, and the 3rd round pick would be Dart if he's still on the board. I think Dart's going by the 3rd round. Unless Tyler Shaw pushes him out of that quarterback 3 spot, which I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Dart's there in the 3. In the 3rd round. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't. Yeah. Nah, you guys are hilarious. He said King Blood said not Diggs. Look, I'm just throwing names out there, man. I'm just throwing names that, like, people say Diggs. A lot of people want T. Higgins. And T. Higgins it's not a knock on T. Higgins. I just think that we already have our wide receiver 1. I think Diggs is trying to be a wide receiver 1 somewhere else. And I'm sorry, you're not better than Malik Neighbors, Diggs, even though you're going to get paid 10 times more than what he's getting paid. You're not better than him. Respectfully. Andre says, in my opinion about the QB class, choose a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round. Listen, the only way I'm picking a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round is if we miss on the guy in the 1st round. If we miss out, like, I don't know how I can express this. Even when my wife talks about it, my kids ask me about, Shador Sanders, Cam Ward. Like, to me, like, I really believe that one of these guys are going to be the quarterback for the New York Giants. Like, when I say this, like, I'm scared. I'm a little anxious. I'll say that. But I truly believe that one of these guys is going to be the quarterback in the New York Giants. And I hate to not think that way. I hate it. So Andre, listen, thank you for the comment. I don't want to live in that world where we don't get Ward or Shedeur Sanders, man. And it might happen. You might be absolutely right, and we might be forced, to go in a different direction. But until that happens, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. And until the Tennessee Titans take Ward and the Cleveland Browns take Shedeur, I'm gonna believe these guys are the quarterback of the New York Giants. One of those guys. One of those guys for sure. My man Isaac said Hyatt is a miss. That's who he is. I can't argue. The numbers cannot allow me to argue with you, Isaac. When I talk about Jalen Hyatt, I'm talking about hope. And I'm talking about what I saw in college. And I'm talking about how bad the quarterback play was here. And then I also think about when he was forced to play, he was productive. In year one with Hyatt, when they targeted him, he caught the ball. I've seen him be effective in games with Daniel Jones, with Tyrod Taylor, with Tommy DeVito. This year, the Carolina game is the only game that he was forced to start because Darius Slayton was out with the concussion. He performed 4 targets, 4 catches, 40 yards. I think his issue is he's not being used. The man did not have enough snaps to register a grade on PFF. Him, Daniel Bellinger as well, because a lot of people think that Daniel Bellinger is trash now. No, they're not getting the snaps. They're in the doghouse for whatever reason. I know why Hyde is in the doghouse, because I think that the New York Giants were operating in a place where, you know what, Darius Slayton has a hot hand. I'm just going to go with Darius Slayton. And they gave Darius Slayton the majority of the snaps. And you saw Jalen Hyatt. Like, how do you expect a wide receiver to get in his groove if he gets 1 snap in the first half and maybe three snaps in the fourth quarter? How do you expect anything to happen? How do you expect? And then when you look, the man won the Biletnikoff, labeled the best wide receiver in college football the year he came out. How do you go to the Giants and become what you become? And we've seen it too many times with Giants players where the consensus is these guys are good. Like the consensus was that Evan Neal was good. The consensus was Kayvon Thibodeau at one point in time was the number 1 prospect that year he was coming out. And they get to the Giants, and what happens? When you look at Wan'Dale Robinson, if you look at Wan'Dale Robinson, his senior year in Kentucky, he had Will Levis as his quarterback. If you look, the man he led college football in receiving yards, or the SEC at least. Like, guys get here and become a shell of themselves. That's not, to me, that's all. These players can't be trash, man. All these players cannot be trash. There's some underlying things going on. And I saw what Jalen Hyatt did to my Alabama Crimson Tide. Listen, it is what it is. It is. It is what it is. B. Coop says Jimmy Horn is like another Wan'Dale, smaller version. He is 5'8 and a half, 174 pounds. He look and plays bigger, but I don't know what with his size. He needs Tyreek Hill type speed. Jimmy Horn, I like Jimmy Horn. I'm not going to argue with you. Wan'Dale Robinson had fantastic numbers the year he got drafted. I'm not going to argue with that. I think Jimmy Horn is better than you give him credit for, but I'm not going to argue with that. And who wouldn't want Tyreek Hill type speed? Absolutely, who wouldn't want that? You talk about Jay Cargill. Nah, you're hilarious, Thunder. You came out of left field with that, because is there a wrestling event happening right now that I don't know about? Is that what this is about? I don't know. Atlantic Line says, I like the idea of Keenan Allen in the slot. Old man, though. Okay, I'm glad somebody said that. And not talking about Keenan Allen. When I think about the New York Giants, I think about this offense. I think about Malik Neighbors. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna start off by saying that I hate Dallas Cowboys, but I love the way that they play CeeDee Lamb, and I think that the New York Giants need to play Malik Neighbors like Dallas plays CeeDee Lamb. Malik Neighbors at LSU, the most yardage he got was out of the slot. And he gets to the New York Giants, and we play him primarily on the outside. Now, we do keep him in motion. We do keep him off the press, line him off the line. He's moving around a lot, so that helps. But I really do think that if you put Wan'Dale Robinson on the back burner, don't make him your number one slot receiver, and you let Malik Neighbors get a lot of those snaps, and you let Wan'Dale Robinson be your gadget guy, and we do need to figure out who that other wide receiver is going to be. You're going to give Hyatt a chance, but that's how I will play Malik Neighbors often in the slot. But Keenan Allen is a solid player, older guy. I don't know how much he'll cost. I don't know if he's a free agent either. I don't know if Keenan Allen is a free agent. I haven't really looked at wide receivers. I haven't really done that. What's going on, Ghost Dog? Keenan Allen, physical but slow. That's he's older though. He's older. Atlantic Lions is not moved by Debo to Washington. Washington about to get Darren Waller. Listen, yeah, Debo got to get in shape. Debo definitely got to get in shape. I'm not going to say anything bad about Debo Samuel because every time we play him, he tends to have a game. And now we got to play him 2 times a year. Yeah. He's going to be a gadget guy for them too. I think it helps. It helps out the Commanders. As much as I hate to say that, I think it does help out the Commanders. Waller Galladay combo. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hugh says Hyatt needs to put on weight even if he sacrifices some speed. Yeah, he needs to get stronger. Because the funny thing is he's 6'1". What is he? 180 pounds, 175 pounds, probably soaking wet. He does need to put on a little bit of weight, but he absolutely needs to get stronger. But there's still a role for him. Like I've seen worse wide receivers have roles, for themselves on teams. I've seen it happen. Coaches have roles for players with the skill set of Jalen Hyatt. We saw it in his rookie year. Even though he didn't get a ton of catches, he was utilized. We didn't have Malik Neighbors, and that's the one thing about. I'll say that though. That's one thing about our offense and our coaching staff is that they will concentrate on certain players and just put everybody else on the back burner. Like, okay, Malik Neighbors, fine. Slayton's on the back burner now. Wan'Dale Robinson's getting a bunch of catches, but he's only averaging like 6 yards a catch, or 5 yards a catch. You look at Daniel Bellinger, we get Waller, and then we draft Theo Johnson. We put Bellinger on the back burner. We we signed Devin Singletary. We get Tyrone Tracy. Nobody thought Tyrone Tracy was going to be, what he ended up being. He's not getting a lot of run until Devin Singletary gets hurt, and then all of a sudden we find out, oh, Tyrone Tracy is actually pretty good. So how come we're not seeing this stuff in like training camp, like the flashes? How come? Why didn't Tracy get more run in those first 2 games before Singletary got hurt? How come it took so long to realize that Tyrone Tracy was what he was? And then when you look at go back to 2022, Darius Slayton was our best wide receiver for a lot of years, right? And that's not saying much. But when they first got here in 2022, Darius Slayton was benched. He didn't really start playing to the 5th game. And once he started playing, they were like, oh, we got a guy here that can do some things. So I don't know, man. I don't want to keep complaining about, the coaching staff. It is what it is. It is what it is. He ripping off Band-Aids, man. Kevin says, Dash, how did Eli not get in? I don't want to talk about that, man. I don't want to talk about that, man. I'm still pissed off about it. I don't want to walk down that road again. I started feeling better. Actually, I didn't start feeling better about it. I just forgot about it and I put it in the back of my head. It pisses me off that Eli Manning didn't get in. It pisses me off. And then the amount of guys that got it inducted, Eli Manning should have absolutely got that first ballot Hall of Famer, man, especially with that class. That class is weak. And then next year, it's not going to get any easier for Eli Manning. King Blood, I'm not surprised that you like Jack Betch. He played for LSU, before he transferred. I'm not surprised. I like him too. He can play. RIP to his brother. Jack Bech can play. Big body wide receiver too. We need one of those. Bryce Ford Wheaton, maybe he steps up. Maybe he gets a chance. I don't know. Money Mike, I got to get caught up on these comments, man. I'm looking at the timestamp. I'm like 7 minutes behind on these comments, man. Says Tibbs was projected to be a star. Let me keep going. No Cooper is done at this point. Oh boy, Amari Cooper. Maybe he might be done. He couldn't do anything with the Bills too much. Wait a minute, Cooper is not done. He just had Cooper. Wait a minute, Cooper had 1,300 yards. We sure about that? Cooper had 13. If Cooper had 13, that's a quiet 13. Good Lord. I didn't know he had 13. Wow. I did not know that. That changes things a little bit. Shout out. What's going on, Hirsch? Hirsch says, what's good, Dash? What's going on, Hirsch? Bookend says, why didn't we run it back with these guys? Oh, boy. Sanderson Neighbors touchdown Giants. That's a fact. Nick Nash guys should draft Triple Crown. Nick Nash, big body wide receiver. I think he ran a 4.5 and some change. Not too bad. Small school guy. Was it San Jose? I think Nick Nash is San Jose. I think it's San Jose. Just ain't use him. That's a fact, King Blood. They just didn't use him. They just didn't. Yeah, that's one thing about it, man. That's what I'm saying, Thunder. 1,300 yards seemed like a lot. I think I would have known if he had 13. He's a precise route runner, though. So he'll be able to play for a long time. Even if he's not as fast as he used to be. If you're a precise route runner, you got longevity for sure. Cup has 710 yards. Thunder checked the Carfax. He said he had 547 yards. He's done. Shout out to Thunder checking the Carfax. He said, I'm not letting that slide. 1,300 yards. Nah, man. Oh, man. Anybody watching the fight, though? Let me know if y'all watching the fight, the Tank and Roach fight. Because I do want to get out of here and get ready for that fight. Was this 7? Was that 9:30 East Coast time? Okay. Hugh said he just throwing out stats. Hirsch said I'll take a fly on Cam Scatterbo. As he I like Scatterbo. He didn't participate on the on-field drills today though at the combine. I don't know if it was an injury or not, or if he was just holding himself out. I know they said he did the vertical. I think he did the broad jump. Actually, let me I already closed my screen, I think. Did I? Let's see. Just want to see really quickly if Scatterbo did anything. I think he did the vertical. Did he do the vertical? I thought I heard Daniel Jeremiah said he did he did do the vertical. Ooh, 39-inch vertical. That's good for Scatterbo. I'm not sharing my screen, but yeah, he did do the vertical. Wow. What was it? Did he do the broad jump too? He did. He did the broad jump. Yeah, he's athletic. 10-foot broad jump, 10-3 broad jump, 39-inch vertical. Yeah. It is what it is. Shout out to family coming through with the boxing information. He said, yes, sir. Still prelims. Okay, I still got some time. That's crazy, too, because I didn't think we already at the hour mark, man. Shout out to y'all, man. 69 people in here strong, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that we in the building. So I'm opening it up for you guys, man. Actually, you know what? Y'all feel like doing a mock draft, man? Before we get out of here, y'all want to do a mock draft? Let me know if y'all want to do a mock draft, man. let's do a mock draft. Let me know for sure, man. You in the comment section. Let me know if y'all want to do a mock draft. Let's try to do a mock draft. See what happens. If my bandwidth allows me. If my bandwidth allows me. Yeah, we about to do a mock draft. All right, yeah. Everybody saying let's do it. Let's do it. Let me share my screen before we get out of here. We're gonna do a mock draft before we get out of here. We're gonna do a mock draft. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna do a mock draft. Make sure everybody can see the screen. Okay, yeah, we about to do mock draft time. Might as well. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Let's go ahead and do this. Fingers crossed right now. Now I'm gonna tell you guys right now. If Shador and Cam Ward go on these first two picks, I might do some trading back. I might do some trading back. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's get this thing started. Okay, off the bat, Travis Hunter goes to the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward goes to the Browns. So Cam Ward is off the board. Abdul Carter is still on the board. You got Ted McMillan, Mason Graham, and of course Shador Sanders. Last week, I made the mistake and let y'all vote. And y'all took Travis Hunter over the quarterback. I'm not doing that this week. Maybe next week. Maybe next time I'll let you guys decide the first pick. Not this week. Not this week. And I see you, Hirsch. Hirsch says Abdul Carter at 3 is a steal. I'm gonna say this too before I hit this button. Hirsch. We have 2 speed rushers on the field already. I understand that Kayvon Thibodeau might not be here, after this year. I do think they pick up the 5th-year option. I wouldn't do it, but I do think they'll do it to try to justify the pick. So you'll have Abdul Carter, you'll have Spider Burns, and you'll have Kayvon Thibodeau, and neither one of those guys can help you set the edge against the run. Neither one of those guys can do it. Really. Brian Burns might be the best edge setter out of the group, and that's not saying much. So for me, I'm drafting Shador. I'm drafting Shador here. Now we can have a democracy with these other rounds. Now we can have a democracy with these other rounds, man. I apologize, but I'm sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There it is. Shador Sanders is a New York Giant. We got a guy. All right, now look at this now. I've never, in all the mock drafts that I've done, I've never seen Amarian Hampton drop to the 2nd round. Never seen it happen. I don't think it's going to happen, especially after the man just ran a 4.6. I don't think it's happening. Okay, I see Hugh jumped in. He wants to look at the cornerbacks. So let's go to the cornerbacks and see what's going on with these cornerbacks. Trey Amos is on the board. Maxwell Hairston is on the board. And it looks like they already made some updates to the rankings because it is what it is. Maybe a DT now. I see Hugh done changed his mind. Yeah, side guy Bryce says, hold on, where did the comment go? Where'd the comment go? He says, you draft the son this year. Next year, you replace Dable with his dad. I don't believe that's going to happen, but that's hilarious. I don't think it would happen, but because I don't know. That's a little much. All right, so let's see. What's best player available? We need trenches on both sides. That's a fact. So we see the cornerback options here. Trey Amos, Maxwell Hairston, Siobhan Revel. He's dropping like crazy. Darian Porter had his hips were a little tight in the field drills. Azariah Thomas, I like him too. Let me look at the defensive tackles. Let me look at the DTs. Actually, let me look at the best player availables Hampton's here, the edge from Boston College. I'm not even going to ruin his last name. He's another, edge just a little bit on the light side. Wide receiver, I'm not taking a wide receiver this early. I'm not going to do it. TJ Sanders, I like TJ Sanders. Talik Williams, I didn't even talk about Talik Williams. Talik Williams looked fantastic at the combine. The field drills, for a big man to be able to move the way that he was moving yesterday in those drills, I like what I saw with Talik Williams. I loved it. I loved it. All right, so what we doing? We voting? Go Harrison as he. I think I can wait to get Harrison. I don't know, man. I don't think cornerback is a bigger deal than defensive tackle right now. I don't think so. Hurst says he like no. Thunder says he's like TJ Sanders. Dex needs a partner. That's a fact. That's a fact. I like Tyrone Tracy enough. I want to get Tyrone Tracy a partner. I don't necessarily want to replace Tyrone Tracy, and I think that's what you do with Marion Hampton is you're pretty much replacing Tyrone Tracy. All right, I see DT, trenches. We're gonna go DT. Now, we're gonna vote now. We got TJ Sanders and Talik Williams. Go ahead and hit the votes, man. I already see two for TJ Sanders so far. The option is between TJ Sanders and Talik Williams. That's what we're doing. I got two for Sanders, one for Williams, two for Williams. We tied right now. 3 for Williams, 3 for Sanders. First person to 5 gets it. 4 for Williams. We got 4-3 right now. William Sanders. First person to 5 gets it. Where's this? Okay, you can't vote twice. I can't count that, Thunder. You can't vote twice. Right now it's 4-3. It's 4-3 Williams. Hold on. Did you vote twice, you? They play 2 different positions. One could be a 3 technique. One is a guy that plays the DT. Sanders. Look at now the Sanders want to come in. Thunder. I'm not counting you twice. Shout out to John David and is it Nikito TV? They beat you. They beat you to it. Fight is destiny. I need you to be a little bit quicker. We going with TJ Sanders. Let's get the pick 65. Look, we got lucky. Look who's here. Maxwell Hairston is here. But guess what? We're gonna put it to a vote. Do we go cornerback here? Do we go for the steal pick with Hairston here? Let me know in the comment section. Maxwell, let's look. Let's be fair to everybody. Let's see who else is out here. Benjamin Morrison is still here. Hairston, no brainer. CB. I'm not gonna waste your time. We're not gonna waste no time here. We see him. We got him. The Lord blessed him with us. Bless him with us. Blessed us with him, I should say. We go on Maxwell Hairston. I like Benjamin Morrison. I do like, shout out to Daniel Duran here. He says Benjamin Morrison is better than Hairston. Coming off the injury, though. Coming off a more substantial injury than Hairston, I should say about Benjamin Morrison. But Benjamin Morrison is very solid. But, we'll have another mock draft in the future. Shout out to Eddie in the building, too. Henderson. Okay, all right. So now we're at pick 104. All right, let's see what we did already. We got Sanders. We got the trenches with TJ Sanders. We got a cornerback in Maxwell Hairston. Funny thing is I still don't think he's a quarterback. A cornerback 1 in his first year. My man Eddie says O-line. He says guard. Let's see what we got. Tate Ratledge is here. I didn't think we was going to get through this mock draft this fast, but my personal vote right here is for Tate Ratledge. I like to have a nasty offensive lineman. Pause. I need that, though. Pause again. I need that. Guard, Tate, Ratledge, no brainer. O-line depth is smart. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going with Tate Ratledge. Guard from Georgia. All right, so now we're at pick 134. I think now we said it earlier. Do we double dip at defensive tackle? Do we double dip on the offensive line. I think we need to double dip at both. But let's see who's available right now. So right now, CJ West is a sleeper, one of my sleepers. Jamari Caldwell is another one. Let's look at the DTs. Let's see what DTs are available right now. So let's see what we got here. We got CJ West, Riley Mills out of Notre Dame, Simeon Barrow, more of a 3 technique. Tim Smith. Now, we did go with TJ Sanders at first, so we do need one of those bigger defensive tackles because TJ Sanders is about 290 pounds. Carter is a coverage backer. Will eat with Lawrence. True. Robinson, good rotational player. All right, let's reset this. Okay. I love Robinson. I love Ty Robinson. He's one of my sleepers. Tyrod, yeah, he's still there because they haven't updated all the rankings. Now, like, again, Tyrod had a fantastic combine, scored through the roof, but his game film not as nice as his combine performance. I'll say that, but he's definitely one of those guys that I would love next to Dexter Lawrence, but he's another one of those lighter defensive tackles. He's more of a 3 technique too. He's 288 pounds. We need another 300-pounder next to Dexter Lawrence. I like CJ West. CJ West out of Indiana. He actually ended up being 6'1", 317 pounds. But yeah, the weight is right. Height just a little bit shorter, but he is quick. For his size, he is very quick. I like CJ West a lot. We can look at some of the scores here. You see it. Pass rush grade. More importantly, run defense grade. You see it here. You see where he played primarily in the A gap, B gap. He's a solid defensive tackle. Solid. Even got some versatility. Not a lot, but you see a couple of snaps he lined up over the tackle. I like him. We got a corner already, though. King Blood. We got a corner already. He says, take Cross in the later rounds if you want bigger. Pause. I hear you. We're gonna go to a vote now here. So let's get out of here. Right now, CJ West is the BPA. I like Chase Lunt a lot, and we didn't get it. We got a guard. We didn't get a tackle. So I like the trenches in this round. He says, go safety. Which safety you want to look at for? What safety? Let's check out the safeties. Billy Bowman is still there. I like Billy Bowman. He kind of popped up out of nowhere, though, right? Strong Senior Bowl week, strong combine. All right, so we're going to make the vote. Okay, we're going to make this. This is going to be the vote. Everybody slow down. Stop typing. We're going to go. I like Baron Carter, too. What's going on, TP? The three guys. We got CJ West. We got Chase Lunt. And let's see who else. Oh, Tyler Batty is there, too. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this. We got CJ West, Chase Lunt, and Billy Bowman. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do those 3. I like Tyler Batty a lot, too. He said tackle or linebacker. Andre says tackle or linebacker. I like the linebacker, Carter. I think with the linebackers that we have, and hopefully Deontay Johnson coming back from injury, and we got Morsal too. I don't think they go linebacker early. I don't think they go. Y'all guys are voting already. I got 2 for Chase, 1 for Billy. 2 for Chase, 1 for Billy. Right now, somebody else put linebacker. So 2 for Chase, 1 for Billy, 1 linebacker. Bruh, a hit stick safety. Yeah. Morsal could play a lot better though. I think he did okay. I think he could be better. So right now I got 2 votes for Chase. Right now Chase is leading. Then I got 1 vote for Billy, one linebacker. If that's it, and nobody else voting, we going with the tackle. I'm gonna give it about 10 more seconds for you guys to put your votes in. 10 more seconds to get your vote in. Again, it's between Chase. It's between Chase Lunt, CJ West. I see Chase. It's 4 for Chase, 1 for Billy. Going once, going twice. 2 for Carter, 4 for Chase, I think Chase got it. I think Chase has it. We're going with Chase. We're going with Chase here. All right, let's go ahead and look what we got so far. So we got Shedeur Sanders, TJ Sanders, Maxwell Harrison, Tate Ratledge, and Chase Lunt. So we got the trenches on the offensive side, I think, are good right now. I think we might be good in the trenches unless somebody else falls. If Jonah Mullenheim from USC falls, that'd be a nice pickup too. We don't have the big body defensive tackle. So we got somebody to play next to Dex, really, but we don't have the big guy, pause, next to Dex. I don't see any more real big bodies. Let me look at the defensive tackles. I know Ty Robinson should still be there, but he's not really one of those big guys neither. Tim Smith is here. Juna Tuafano. That's a little bit too far down the list of the rankings. Quinn Ewers, Tyler Barron, edge help. Let's see. Quincy Riley is another good cornerback, a sleeper here. Kyle McCord, Upton Stout is a small cornerback that they project as a safety. Seth McLaughlin is here. Well, Nick Nash is still here. Connor Colby is another guard. All right. We didn't go running back. You guys like Kyle Monangai? You guys like Kyle Monangai here? He said LOL. Quinn Ewers, yeah, Quinn Ewers is still there. I don't think he's there really in the fifth round though. I don't think that happens. Kyle Monangai is here. Danny Stutzman is another linebacker at Oklahoma. He ran faster than I thought he was going to run. King said nah to Monangai. Listen, I like a couple running backs. Again, this running back class is deep. We're in the fifth round though. Oh, Bashul Tootin is there. Bashul Tootin ran a 4.340. He was smoking. And he's a thumper too. He's a tough runner. The man says yes, Rutgers. He's there in spirit. Who you talking about? Who's there in spirit? Running back time. Sanders, running back. Okay. Taj Brooks is there. They're still there too. Yeah. Tootin went off. Great returner too. Yep. Give you some versatility. Quinn. We're not taking Quinn Ewers Fighter's Destiny. We're not doing that. We're not doing that unless you're just laughing at Quinn Ewers still being there. I'm not taking another quarterback. I think he has a futures contract, Smith Marset. Shout out to Jersey. Okay, I got you. All right, so let's go ahead and clear this thing out. And again, we see the results here. Shedeur Sanders. So we got quarterback, defensive tackle, cornerback, guard, and tackle. We have another edge rusher here in Tyler Barron. Kobe Hudson. I don't know if we go wide receiver. Kyle McCord is. I like Kyle McCord. I will say that. I do like Josh Joyner, but he's not an edge setting type of defender either. Cody Simon, pretty good combine. Denzel Burke, Danny Stutzman. I like Danny Stutzman, man. You guys want to go running back here? I like Riley. I like Quincy Riley. I like Riley. I think I'm going to go Monangai here. I think I'm going to go running back here. Daniel Duran says Stutzman. I think I'm going to go Monangai here. I like Stutzman. Stutzman ran faster than I thought he was going to run. But I'm going to go with the running back here. We're probably not going to get a good grade on that. Listen, you read my mind, Thunder. You read my mind, Thunder. I'm trying to see who's here now. And if let's see. If Ty Robinson's still here, I'm going Ty Robinson. We got any arguments with Ty Robinson here? Any arguments with Ty Robinson? Let me know. You said he called it. We got any issues with Ty Robinson? Oh, Will Shepard's here too. Will Shepard's here too. Okay. Oh, you said Howard Cross, legacy guy. You guys like Howard Cross here? Let's go back to the D. So Howard Cross is 274. We could probably wait and get him. In all honesty, I do like grabbing a legacy player, but Shepard is right here. Everybody's talking about that wide receiver. We talking wide receiver. Will Shepard is here. 6'2", 6'3" wide receiver, 200 pounds. Some people say take Ty. That's going to be all right. Let's open up the votes. We going the vote is between Ty Robinson and Will Shepard. That's what we're going. I'm counting the votes right now. So if you voted for him, go ahead and vote again. We got one for Shepard. King Blood is Shep. No get Ty, so we got 1 and 1. 2-1, Ty Robinson. 3-1. Oh no, Thunder, you can't vote twice. 3-1, Ty Robinson with Hugh Shep. 3-2, 4-2. Any more votes? 4-2. 10 more seconds. We're gonna get out of here, man. 4-3. 4-3. Going once. Ty Robinson is about to be the pick. Ty Robinson is going to be the pick. We got 4-3. Going once, going twice. Ty Robinson is the pick. All right, so the last pick of the mock draft Saturday. Oof, Theo Weiss is here. Let's see what we got. We already picked up a running back, but Raheem Sanders is a steal in the 7th round. Lynn, you super late, Lynn. You super late. You super late, man. All right, I wanted to go Shepard, man. The votes had it, man. All right. This is the guy. Zachariah Franklin is here as a wide receiver. We want to look at wide receivers. Jabbar Muhammad is still here. Oof. Shiloh Sanders is here. I think we can get Shiloh Sanders as a UDFA. Got another, big tackle here. Trenches going back to the Trentons. He said he late as hell. He said Edge Tucker. You said you see Tucker. Oh, so hold on. Let me look at the edges. Colin Oliver. He actually ran with the linebackers. Colin Oliver. He didn't run with the edge group. I know. Thunder, that's what I'm saying. He says, yeah, Thunder says running back Sanders is here. Yep. And Jabbar Muhammad is here. Yeah, I know. I like Jabbar Muhammad here, man. I like Jabbar Muhammad because it gives you versatility inside and out. Tyler is really pushing for these. I'm sorry, not Tyler. Mark is really pushing for Tyler Shaw here. You want a double dip at quarterback, huh? Side guy says he needs a wide receiver. Let's look at these wide receivers, man. Let's look at the wide receivers here. You said you got to get me one. Rock Taylor. Is Rock Taylor? I think he's the big body. Is he the big body wide receiver? 6'3", 215. Rock Taylor. Let's see what kind of production he had. All right. 13 games. What is yardage? Almost just under 1,000 yards. 2 touchdowns on the season. Let's see what he is. Drop rate 5.6. Let's see. Deep yards 480. Screen yards 4 yards in the screen game. Good Lord. Brooks. All right, Bookend, man. Have a good night, Bookend. Is Cross still there? That's another D tackle, man. I don't think we go another D tackle. Legacy pick. Legacy. That's what Hove said, right? Howard Cross is still there. Howard Cross is there. You said Brooks. Brooks is a wide receiver. Not talking about Jacoby Brooks, right? No, I don't think I saw Brooks. Oh, he is there. Cross is a legacy, though. I wouldn't mind going D tackle again. You guys want to go? Listen, it's not real. It's not real. We can do D tackle again if we want to. We can do whatever we want to. This is a mock draft. We're not getting paid to do this. Where is Deontay Thornton? I didn't see Thornton. You saw Thornton here? I did see Felton, though. That's not the fast Felton, though. Fast Felton went to Maryland. Yeah, Thornton's gone. Deontay Thornton's gone. He ain't there. Best player available. You see Tyler Shaw is still there. Got a cornerback here. We do have a safety. We didn't have a safety. Oof. He's a thumper. You see the run defense because that coverage grade is awful. 5'11", 202 pounds. Thunder says Cross or Tyler Shaw. Cross or Tyler Shaw. All right, that's going to be the vote. Cross or Tyler Shaw. Do we get us another quarterback that can develop behind Shedeur Sanders? Do we get another one? You let me know. So the vote's going to be between Tyler Shaw, or who do we say? Howard Cross. I'm not going Shallow. I don't think Shallow's there. You guys want a thumper at linebacker? I'm sorry, you want a thumper at safety? All right, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna go quarterback again, right? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's go between Howard Cross Jr. and Shiloh Sanders. That's what we're gonna do. Thunder kicked off the vote. Actually, Hugh kicked off the vote with Cross. Thunder says Shiloh. King Blood says Shiloh. What we doing here? Shiloh for the memes. Shiloh for the vibes. Cross for the legacy. So right now we got 2 for Cross and I think 4 for Shiloh, or 5 for Shiloh, actually. Thunder, you keep voting twice, Thunder. You got it. You throwing me off. Man. Hugh said he didn't know. Shiloh has it. Forget it. We got to get up out of here. I need to watch this fight. Shiloh Sanders to end the draft. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to be good. You know it's going to be an F for Shedeur. That's how they do it. Okay. Look at this. Okay. So Shedeur Sanders, PFF needs to fix this. Everybody is picking Shedeur in the top 10 in all the mock drafts. He doesn't make it past the Raiders. They need to fix that. So Shedeur Sanders is a quarterback of the future. TJ Sanders getting Dexter Lawrence some help on the line, especially at the 3 technique. We got a lockdown corner in Maxwell Hairston. Tate Ratledge on the offensive line, day 1 starter. A day 1 starter in the 4th round. Can't go wrong with that. Chase Lunt, that's your future swing tackle. That's what I think Chase Lunt can be. Kyle Monangai. Got us a C-. Shout out to Jersey, though. Ty Robinson got us a C. Again, it's not updated. Ty Robinson's going to be ranked a lot higher. And then Shiloh Sanders actually got us a B+. Shout out to Shiloh Sanders. And let's see, we got a B-. I'm not mad at that at all. Shout out to y'all, man. Thanks for everybody for helping me out with the mock draft, man. We had some time to do it, and that's what we did. Got the mock draft going. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Of course, nobody agrees with that Shedeur Sanders grade. That's BS. That's BS. And despite that, yes, despite that, we still ended up with a B- for the draft. I actually like this, man. I actually like this. If we can get Tate Ratledge, he's a day one starter for the New York Giants. He's a day one starter a lot of places. If we can get him in the fourth, that's fantastic. When you think about the draft, right, those first 4 picks should either be starters or contributors, big contributors. And I think when I look at it, you got your quarterback of the future. TJ Sanders is absolutely a starter. Maxwell Harrison in our secondary is a starter. Tate Ratledge is a starter. Chase Lunt by default will be your swing tackle, most likely. Kyle Manungai, another running back in the rotation. Ty Robinson is sneaky right here because I can see Ty Robinson actually starting at some point in time in the season, even though we drafted him in the 7th round. He could actually start. And then Shiloh Sanders is absolutely somebody that you put on special teams early. And who knows? He can develop into a nice safety duo with Tyler Nubin. We'll see what happens because Shiloh Sanders is part of the headache gang. And shout out that we do need a thumper out here. We need an enforcer. So we give Shiloh a chance. Now, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. So that's going to be the mock draft. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I do want to say this, man. Shout out to everybody that hung out with us. We still got 45 people in the building. I'm about to shut this thing down and watch this fight. But again, appreciate everybody for vibing with me. Tomorrow we got the offensive lineman to wrap up the combine. Can't wait to see that because I want to see some of these guys run and I want to see how some of these guys move for sure. For sure. And again, thoughts and prayers to Luann. Like I said, mom's passed. Thoughts and prayers, my condolences to you. Prayers and well wishes to you and your family for sure. For sure. But with that being said, everybody, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.